Hi guys, Northeast Prospector here. Out again in Reedy Creek, between El Dorado and Beechworth in Northeast Victoria. Spur of the moment trip out here today. Actually had a little bit planned for today, being a Sunday, but thought I'd get out in the creek and bring the family with us. With my daughter. Yeah, so just on an island of bedrock here. Creek's actually up probably about a foot and a half, which is not really surprising considering we had 200 mil of water, or rain rather, over the last week in the upper catchments. So yeah, just today going to be working same area I was working last time I was out here, getting into this stuff here on the slab of bedrock. As you can see here, I'll just slip around my high back up. This real grey sticky clay. All the water be running all down here, all down there, and it's actually catching in a little bit of a low spot here where the point of the shovel is. So I'm gonna get in here and give this a good scrub and chip away. There's some good looking gravels in there actually, mixed in with that grey clay, and did one small shovel, panned it down. I actually got 5 pieces of gold out of it. So for one shovel, it's not too bad. And that was just off the top where that little grey bit is in here. So we'll get in and we'll cut this down and have a bit of a look. We've got a high banker running here. Still into that sticky grey clay over the back here. You can probably see it. All around here, top of the shovel. That's decomposing granite, I'm pretty sure. And because it's so sticky, the gold just won't leave it, sticks to it. Got the sluice set to about 6 degrees, 2 degrees of cold. It's a metre long, so with how heavy the black sands and gemstones and all that sort of stuff are here in Reedy Creek, I try to run it a little bit steeper. Probably drop the touch down a little bit on the side, but apart from that, I'm pretty happy with it. We'll probably run for another 20 minutes, check the top of the box, just see what the catch rate's like, and then fire back up and keep going. But around Reedy Creek, I've always found good gold in the decomposing granite. You can sort of just sitting above the slab of bedrock, and it's exactly what you want to find. So we'll stick at it, and I'll get back to you. Cheers. Hi guys, just thought I'd give you an idea of the material I'm into at the moment. As you can see here, I'm working a slab of bedrock just above the water line, and you can see the sandy layer all through here. It's about 7 or 8 inches, 10 inches of sand, and then underneath it got like this real gritty decomposing granite, like it's almost like glue. I've been into that quite a bit actually. I've been following this along the bedrock, and you can see the colours in it where the minerals are starting to leach out into it. We've had a bit of rain over here, so it's going to be leaching all the water down through, and that orangey colour there either tells me that there's a high iron presence or hopefully a bit of gold. I mean, into this clay stuff, so yeah, we'll just pass it over to my wife and we'll do a cleanup in real time so you guys can get an idea of what we're on. Righto, get some water in the pan. Just got a couple of, about 6 inches of mat up in the top, and I'll clean up. Give you a nice idea, and I'll save the bottom run of the sluice for the end of the day. Don't find too much in the bottom rung, in the bottom end, so the top of the sluice is working properly. Two hands way up. stuff there. Right, first of all, I always like to clean off the expanded metal. Not that you ever get much on it, but never hurts to give it a good clean. Aid in the exchange. I'll pull out top section of the miner's moss. A bit of weight in it. Quite a few rocks. That's alright, we can classify that down before I put it through the gold wheel. I've got to give it a quick to turn it over. My dog's just gone for a walkabout up the bank. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Sorry about that. The dog decided to go for a walkabout up the bank. Got it back though. So yeah, I've just finished cleaning out the miner's moss. You can see a few little pebbles left stuck in there, but I'm not too worried about that. I'll give it a good proper clean out at the end of the day. Underneath that, we're running V-rib mat. So just same again, give it a clean out. And this gets anything, well, it should catch anything that drops out under the miner's moss. Get that in, get all a good wash. You can see that, 30 seconds, and pretty well spotless. So what we'll do, throw that up there. I'll give this a quick pan out and give you guys an idea of what sort of hay we're on. Lots of black sand straight off the bat, so that's always promising. That's part and parcel with here in Reedy Creek. It's loaded with it. Slowly pan it off. That's the way I do it. Everyone's got their own techniques. There's no right or wrong way. Because if you get the gold at the end of your pan, you're doing it right. Stratify it again. Take all the blonde sands off the top. Stratify. Again. I like to do it just until you start to see the black sands come through on the top. Get it all up in the water column again. Turn it off again. Again. One hand or two hand, doesn't really matter. Take a few of these other bigger rocks out. Get all that black sand and gold hopefully to the bottom. And the good thing about using these Garrett Super Sleeve pans, the 1 inch deep riffles, there's not a lot that will escape from once it's in there. Alright, get the water in it, wash it all back down to the bottom riffle. You can already see a bit of gold in it. So bring this down. Don't just get the water out. Still a few rocks in there. That's alright. Handle that. Just quickly swirl this around to give you an idea where we're at. So we've only been running here for probably 40 minutes or so. Just roll it back. And there's still a little bit of gold up in there under the black sands, but you can see along the bottom edge of this bottom riffle, that's not too bad. Obviously still a few little bits in and around the black sand that have washed around. But I'm not too worried about that at the moment. I'll throw this height bank back together and get back onto it. Finally get around to cleaning up the cons from the trip. It's now Thursday afternoon. So yeah, this here is my miller table, homemade job. I've currently got that fall set to 2mm over the length. Very fine water flow. I've actually packed out the reservoir behind it with dish sponges, like washing sponges. Just cut them to size, and the water's filtering down through them and leveling out and giving a nice film. You want to have no bubbles at all. Every now and then you'll see a couple just from the gaps down the side here where I haven't got any sponge, but I'm gonna primarily concentrate everything in the middle. Ideally you want no bubbles, because the bubbles will pick up the flour gold that will be running through this, and it'll pick it up and float it away. So I'm going to add some rinse aid to it, just to break the surface tension of the water. Here we have the first spoonful onto the miller table. As you can see, the flow is slowly moving the heavier, or the lighter material, sorry, off from the black sands, concentrating it right down. You can see it all catching down here, the blondes. But up here in the black sand is where you will find the gold. Now I know there's gold in here. I quickly found this out the creek the other day. You can sort of see a couple of fine specks just starting to appear. Now what you do is a small paintbrush or a very fine brush, and you want to slowly brush away into the current, and the black sands will actually fall away and the gold will sit still. This is one of the most effective ways of getting your gold 100% clean, but it's also one of the most time consuming. There's a lot of people that are, they'll pan out and they'll spend 20 minutes, whatever, however long, and right down to nothing but black sand and gold, and then just snuffer it up. But this is just another one of the cleanup methods I like to use. I guess it helps having a machine at home as well. But yeah, I thought I'd change it up from the gold wheel that I usually use to do my cleanups with, and just give you guys another idea of another machine you can use. Snuff it up what I could, and everything I could get my hands on, and now I'll just tip this into the pan, and you guys will be able to see what sort of material I was on. I should be careful here, I'm going to drop it. Shake. A bit more water. Some water, might help. Okie dokie. I'll put that sit over there. I'll try and... I'm actually inside at the moment, so I have to excuse the lights and that. Let me shake all this up to the edge of the pan. If I can get it up there. There we have there. So it's 4 hours in the creek. I'm quite happy with it. Sorry about the reflections of the light. It's a bit harder doing this inside, but I'm quite happy with that for a couple of hours. Yeah. I'm actually heading out again tomorrow, doing a bit of river sluicing and a bit of crevicing. So I might make a small video on myself running my river sluice, but yeah, we'll see how we go. Anyways guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully all your pans will be golden. Cheers.